This is a quick story of misguided and uneconomical efforts in California to reduce greenhouse gases in order to prevent an unlivable planet for billions of people and other life forms. You can see a photo here of the construction in 2016 here in Kern County of this digester project. The dairy is called the West Star North facility. It's a factory dairy. It milks over 3,000 cows daily and has over 6,000 cows total. You can see freestall barns, a place where the dead cows go, the open dry lots where the heifers and the dry cows are kept, more freestall barns. It's a pretty big dairy. It's not the biggest. It's certainly not the smallest. It was built around 2000, somewhere in there, between 2000 and 2003. We come up here to what's called the manure separator. This is where the shit hits the screen. They separate out a lot of the solids here. The volatile components stay in the liquid pretty much. And the liquid is pouring through this pit after it goes through the separator and then enters digester number 1. It's a bit confusing here. This digester seems to be leaking. There's liquid on the top. It's puffed up pretty good, meaning it's full of gas of some kind. But there shouldn't be any liquid floating on the top like there is at both ends. The liquid leaves this digester probably pretty much at the rate that it's entering from the manure separator. It's going here off to the right into a shallow pond. This liquid's called the digestate. There are several shallow ponds around the area to receive this liquid. Now the second digester here is completely collapsed and covered in liquid. Looks like about half of it's covered in liquid. Who knows what's going wrong at that location? So if we back off here a little ways and turn off to the left or towards the west in this case, we see the electrical generator that burns the collected methane. This electricity is sent through the grid, and it's designated to be used in vehicles. I guess Teslas in the Bay Area will use this electricity, and somebody's getting renewable credits for this electricity. It's really used for the biggest oil companies to continue, and the biggest power plants to continue burning fossil fuel like natural gas to put electricity into the grid. This digestate pond is completely dry. It's dried out. It's a big pond. You can imagine the liquid was sitting in there until most of it evaporated. I'm sure some of it may have been pumped out to the nearby fields. You can see several what we'll call digestate ponds here in the foreground. They're all shallow. One of them actually has a floating device called an aerator. It's a giant machine that floats on the surface. I don't know if it's still being used on the digestate. The other stuff coming out of these ponds is, besides methane, there's tons of methane coming out of these digestate ponds. There's also tons of ammonia polluting our air. Just like happened before the digester was built, the ammonia was evaporated out. So as we pass back over the dairy, in this corner in the center, there's a whole bunch of solar panels, a couple hundred of them at least, probably close to 1,000. This dairy is using electricity from photovoltaic panels to run itself. The maps here at the end are basically flyover methane maps done by NASA and JPL. Now, these maps showed a lot of methane coming off of the site where the digester is and where the digestate is handled. That map was made a couple years ago. We've requested from CARB through a petition to take another look at this operations like this, and is it truly reducing methane the way they claim, and is it giving proper credits for the reduction of that methane? There seems to be a lot of double counting and overestimation of the amount of methane being reduced. CARB has not responded. We submitted this in October of 2021, this petition. It's now June of 2022, and we're still waiting on a formal response to the points that were raised in the petition. So if this is the way we're going to reduce greenhouse gases, good luck, everyone.